So, video 1. The story of Club 45. How did this ridiculous project come about? In my junior year of college, I was in the middle of a production, and if anyone's ever been through production week, it is a zany experience. You don't get much sleep, you don't eat properly. I myself had a final due at the same time we were performing, so I had just scraped myself out of costume, shoved a soda down my throat, and had raced off to some computer lab on campus in order to get some work done. I had gotten about 3 hours into my paper and had been listening to Panic and Fall Out Boy on a random playlist on my phone and fell asleep at the computer station. And when I opened my eyes, I found myself in Club 45, and I wasn't any one character. I was just there, and I was watching these people go about their lives, and all of the experiences I'd had to that date, 10 years of theater, culminated in this amazing noir experience. And when I woke, first I wrote a 20-page summary, and then I wrote an 80-page summary, and then it was a 200-page short story, and then it was suddenly a script. And I wrote, and I wrote, and I wrote, and the first iteration of this script was okay. It was decent. It was a decent narrative with some amazing stylistic choices, and all of the songs that I had been listening to during the dream integrated into the script. They became the music for the show, and we threw a cast together, and we created a student organization, and we rented out the abandoned cabaret at the bottom of the student center on campus, down near area campus. And in that cabaret, in Siggy's Cabaret, for months, we worked the music and we worked the script. And we got to a point where the show just wasn't strong enough. It just wasn't a strong enough piece. So we put it away. And for years and years, Panic, Brendan Urie, and Fall Out Boy, Mr. Wentz, released more and more and more and more music, and we've watched their styles change over the year. We've watched them undertake their own personal evolution, and one day it occurred to me that these artists had, in essence, done what any good character in a show does. They had progressed through the various color periods of their lives and had found art in so many different forms. And as a hardcore fan of both gentlemen, I listened to the music again and again, and then I started listening to the music through the eyes of my old show, and fueled it with friendships and loves and all of the complex interactions that we as human beings have. And the show began to take a brand new shape. And in the intervening years, I studied a great deal of Joseph Campbell's work, and if you haven't read, you should absolutely read. The man was an absolute genius. It's the theory of the monomyth. Every story is one story, and all stories have been told again and again and again. And there are structures that link all stories to each other, and it just made sense. Everything locked in. And with the newest release of the brand new Panic album this year, 2013, we found the ballads that we'd been missing. And the ending of the show came to me, and sitting with a couple of our former cast members, we went through a couple of scenes, and it was actually the gentleman who plays Wentz, Scott Joseph Jameson, who came up with our curtain call, and that sealed it. That was it. We locked eyes, all of us, and we knew that it was time. It was time to put the show back up. It was time to bring it back out. And the concepts had expanded so that all the characters had a real role. We cut a couple of the original characters out. We replaced one of the characters with something more substantial. And I began pouring through the Denver community, which, if you don't know, we are one of the foremost theater cities in the U.S. We have an amazing theatrical community here in this city. And began pulling together just an incredible cast of people who have the potential to become these characters and to fill it. And fortunately for the process of Club 45, we've opted not to do a full script writing and then have the cast workshop off the written script. As I am writing the script, we are workshopping individual sections. That'll be some of the videos that you'll see to come, are instances where I'm sitting in a room with one of the cast members and we're working a song or working a section of the script to make sure that the character is as rich as it can possibly be while still within the confines of the narrative that I've written. So the script is currently resting at about 200 pages. That includes all of the song lyrics, which is a little above average. That means there will be some that will be cut out. There will be some sections of the script that have been cut out. But that's the story of Club 45. This show was the birth of a long, tired, rock-infused mind at the end of finals week and production week for a show which I think is where all true art comes from, that place between asleep and awake, when we really see ourselves, when we are really in connection with that part of ourselves that you can't hide because all those resources are burned. And when I reached mine, I found Club 45.